My girlfriend and I met through skiing, which is still strange to say out loud because it feels like a lifetime ago now. Back then, winter meant something different to me. Snow wasn't just cold, it was comforting. Quiet, clean. Skiing was how we bonded before we ever knew what we were becoming to each other. Long chairlift rides where a conversation came easily, or not at all. Shared silence never felt awkward with her. It felt earned. Winter trips became our thing, something we protected, something we looked forward to during long months of work and routine. So when our vacation days finally lined up last year, it felt like more than luck. It felt necessary. Like we needed to remember who we were together before life started weighing on us the way it does. A friend suggested we skip hotels and rent a private cabin near Vail Mountain in Colorado. He said hotels ruin intimacy. Too many people. Too much. Noise. He said a cabin would be quieter, cozier, more romantic. That word romantic stuck with us. We didn't hesitate. We booked it almost immediately. After landing, we took a taxi to a rental car place and chose the cheapest option, a Honda Civic. Not ideal for mountain terrain, especially in winter, but we laughed it off. We were too excited to care. I remember how she smiled when I told her we'd just drive carefully. That trust meant everything to me then. The drive started slow, slower than I expected. The roads were covered in slushy snow, and the farther we climbed, the quieter everything became. Trees grew thicker. The world felt smaller. Eventually, we turned off the main road onto a narrow wooded path that felt older, somehow. Less traveled. The cabin wasn't completely isolated, but it felt removed. The kind of place where you could believe no one would hear you if you shouted. The owner had left the key inside the mailbox. I remember thinking how convenient that was, how normal it all seemed. When I unlocked the door and stepped inside, the smell of wood hit us immediately. That deep, warm scent you expect from a log cabin. It felt authentic, comforting. The place wasn't just one bedroom, one bathroom, a living room, and a small kitchen, but it felt right. Like a place meant to slow time down. We arrived too late to ski that afternoon, so after unloading our bags, we drove back out to grab pizza. When we returned, the cabin felt warmer, softer. We ate on the couch under dim lighting, a movie playing. Quietly in the background, everything felt peaceful, intimate. Then my girlfriend suddenly froze. She couldn't find her bag. She was certain she'd left it on the coffee table. She was sure. We searched together. The kitchen, the bathroom, everywhere. It didn't make sense. I tried to stay calm, joked about it, but I could see the panic in her eyes. She wasn't the type to forget things like that. When I checked the bedroom, I found it sitting beside the bed. I brought it back to her, smiling, expecting relief. Instead, she accused me of moving it, of going through her things. That accusation hurt more than I expected. It felt unfair. We argued briefly, voices low, controlled. Eventually, I convinced her she must have put it there herself and forgotten. The tension passed, or at least, it pretended to. At the time, it felt like nothing, a misunderstanding, something you laugh about later. We went to bed excited for our first real day on the mountain. The next day was perfect. We skied from early morning until dusk, exhausted, happy, laughing the way people do when they forget the rest of the world exists. On the way back, we grabbed dinner again. When we returned to the cabin and unlocked the door, The living room light was on. She froze instantly. She insisted we turned it off. I tried to reason with her. The door was locked. The day had been bright. It was easy to miss. I believed that. Or maybe I needed to. We tried to relax. We ate. We put on another movie. Then she screamed. She was pointing at the corner of the living room rug. At first, I didn't see anything. Then I did. Wet boot prints. Snow melting into the fabric. Fresh. Dark. Neither of us remembered stepping there. She begged me to check the cabin. I searched everywhere. Under the table. Behind the couch. The bathroom. The bedroom. Nothing. No one. Still, the fear stayed. Heavy. Watching. She went to bed early. I followed. It was barely 10, but the cabin felt wrong now. Too quiet. She kept whispering that she felt watched, to calm her. I called the host. As the phone rang, I heard something else. A muffled ringing. Behind the wall. The moment my call was rejected, the ringing stopped. That's when I noticed the crack in the wall. A thin outline, like a hidden door. She begged me not to open it. I opened it. Anyway, behind it was a small closet, and inside was a man. The owner, crouched. Watching. I don't remember screaming. I don't remember thinking. I dragged him out. He apologized. Said nothing made sense. I found my girlfriend's underwear hidden inside. We called the police. That night, we stayed in a hotel. We flew home early. The refund came weeks later. It didn't matter. But it wasn't the first time. Years earlier, when I was 18, my best friend Lizzie and I traveled to London. Our first trip alone. We were naive, excited, free. On our first night, we visited Big Ben, ate dinner, talked about nightlife. A man overheard us. Charming, confident, invited us to a party. We agreed. The apartment was quiet. Wrong another. Man stood by the door. Something felt off immediately. They pushed drinks on us. Lizzie called 911. The police arrived. Just in time. The drinks were roofie. We never told our parents. And even earlier. When I was 14, there was Eliza, or whoever she really was. She talked about blood. Pulled a knife on me. Came into my room at night. Whispered that she wanted blood. When the police searched the resort, there was no record of her. No Elisa. No. Girl, that's the part people don't like to believe. These experiences taught me something I wish I'd never had to learn. Evil doesn't always look like evil. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it invites you in. Sometimes it waits. Quietly behind walls. And once you've seen it, truly seen it, you never feel alone again. Even when you are.